Alright YouTube, quick update. I'm going to show you in action this thing works. I'm using some 1-inch aluminum EMT. I realized the first video I did not mean to show actually bending anything. So first, you want to level your pipe or level your bender. And I'm just going to crank it. So I'm putting two 90-degree bends in this. I have it filled with kitty litter. I'm not going to bore you with that, but yeah, duct tape the ends, put a funnel, kitty litter. 10 foot was fun, but alright, since I'm bending one side, I'm going to take this inclinometer and measure both sides. Get a 45 on each side. With aluminum, you got to pump it to about 47 degrees on each side because you get a little bit of spring back. So keep cranking away. But I'll show you, it'll be kink-free. I got one bar already bent for the front of the mini truck. This is gonna be the back, so hold tight. As I crank away at this thing. Let's see, get an update. All right, not quite there yet. We're only about 30 degrees. I'll do this quick. The reason it's kind of mounted on this table, a little hoopty up so high, is because my bar is too long to bend. I get too much kick out on one side, and I'll show you that. I'm just about there. Let's see. That's 45 on one side. About 45 on the other side. We'll keep cranking. So I get about 47 on both sides, and then that'll count for the spring back, put about a perfect 90-ish. Alright, there's 47. It's about 47 right there. Alright. Release it and show you. You can watch, it's going to spring back a little bit. There we go, tension's off. And we'll check for 45s. It's about dead set 45. It's pretty close. 44, might jump the gun. Yeah, about 2 degrees higher on this side, so I don't think my jack was exactly level, but I'll pop this out and show you next. Alright, I'll show you every boring step of the way. First, pulling it down to get it out of the jack, out of the bender. One. So as you can see, I'll pop it out of the die here in a sec, but as far as it looks, no kinks in it. I got a pretty good 90 on there. So hang tight and I'll show you an update. All right, as promised, every boring step of the way. Die's stuck on there pretty good. I got it on the vise. Take a little punch here. Try to smack it off. There he goes. There you go. And you literally just watch. And here, update. No bends, or no kinks, excuse me. Check that out. See? Just fill with kitty litter. Send it on its way. Excuse the mess over here. We got a little custom leather business too. So yeah, that's that. I'm about to put another bend on the other side. I'll show you what's gonna be. Here's one, just getting it mocked up right now, building a canopy on this little mini truck. I mean, please excuse the towels, but I mean, that's literally where it came out. I mean, the dye leaves a slight impression on it, but I mean, it's not kinked by any means. So, and believe it or not, this is just 1-inch aluminum, I can't remember if they call it rigid or EMT. What's the same as, I mean, it's aluminum piping is what it is. It's not tube. I haven't tried it on tubing, but yeah, as far as actually using a pipe diameter, which is about this is 1-inch trade, so I think it's about a 1.30, 1.31 inch outside diameter. Works well in the dyes. So I want to at least show you guys the process here. I'll put one more bend in it so you guys can see it, but yeah. All right, so like I said, we're gonna put in that second bend. I already have the pipe marked. You might be able, you can't see it, I'll show you after, but so I put the bend in it. Just gotta really pay attention to what side you are bending, you're making your bend on. That's a big one. Let's see, there's a die in here. Do this all one-handed, it'd be great. Third hand would be awesome, but we'll work with what we got. All right. There we go. All right, so I'm short. Every boring step of the way. All right, so here's the update. I lost my tripod, but as mentioned, I'm gonna put a second bend in here. So the big thing right now, just make sure that it's a little not all that great. So I've zip tied I've zip tied torpedo level to the bar to make sure it bends on a straight plane. You just see, I just gotta put a little more tension on it. Get it kind of locked in. You can see more or less leveled my pipe bender. Come over here and just check my level. Yep, all right, that's pretty close. So now we're just gonna send it. And here, I'll give you a top view. So you can see, nothing crazy here. It's seated in the die. Sorry, it's shaky. Seated in the dies. There you go. Just gonna send it. So let's see. Give you some action shot here. All right. You can watch it bend. There you go. How about that? Yeah. Can't really get a good view. Sorry, guys. Just crank the jack. Test it here in a minute. So yeah, the reason it's on here is because if you watch, it's getting closer and closer to the floor. But luckily, and we'll check our level. It's all out of whack, but it does that. Luckily, we get a little room to work because you can see over here, it's got to get close, but it doesn't have to be perfect. So as we keep cranking, here, we'll run a tester, show you guys here. God bless Harbor Freight and their affordable tools. All right, keep cranking. Give you an action shot in here. Just watch the jack do what it does. Whoops. All right, as you can see, getting closer to the floor. And then we'll come over here, make sure we're bending hopefully in somewhat a straight line. Very hard to see, but I'd say it's pretty straight. Might be off a degree or two, but all right, let's see, check our angle. And we're getting there. We are getting there, so we'll keep cranking a little bit. Kind of watching it against the floor. Luckily, I already did that first bar, so I know we shouldn't bottom out. Shouldn't. All right. Check our angle. We gotta get about 47. We're still a little outside. Come over here. All right. Still a little outside. Getting close. All right, and you can start to see the bar. Shooting me the pipe coming up over. It's getting kind of close. They didn't oversend it. Let's see. Wait for that to settle. All right. We're right about 45, 46. See who's on this side. This last time, we're at 45, so we probably got a few more degrees. So we're gonna step back in here and keep an eye on it. Let's see. Probably about 3 more pumps. All right, that was about 1.5. Double check it. Oh, that's it. That's about on the money there. It's about 47. Come here, check this side. And that's about 47. So accounting for the spring back, I'd say that's pretty daggone close from what it's gonna be. Let me just finish this little pump there. All right, now, here I'll back it out so you can see. To account for the spring back. Just gonna loosen it, and it's hard to tell, but there she goes. All right, so the tension's off the jack now. And let's see what we've settled up at. Hopefully 45-ish. I'd say we're pretty daggone close. Similar without wiggling. There's 45 on one side. Sorry guys, I don't feel like waiting. And it might be a little over on this side, but I think a little under. I think that should work. I might give it one more crank, but as you can see, same as the other side, and kind of give you a shot up under it. There's no kinks in it, so I mean, as long as you fill it with kitty litter, that's the most important part. Or sand. I've heard sand works too. I landed on kitty litter because I went to buy sand. It was all outside of Home Depot, and it was all soaking wet. I'm looking for the kitty litter I was using. It's literally nothing special. It's the cheapest stuff they had at Food Line. So just get one in a plastic container so you can pour it back in from your pipe. I got the bag stuff first, and it did not. We eventually threw the bag out, but here's your bar, or excuse me, your pipe. So if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. Have any better ideas? It helps too. Thanks. I can't remember who mentioned it in the first video to level your jack or level the bender first. So, but yeah, that's it. And yeah, if you have any questions, hit me up. I'll be glad to help. All right, so as promised, here's the finished product. As you can see, get a little zoom in. I mean, it nicks it up a little bit, maybe, but I mean, for the most part, really not that bad for cheap bender. I mean, everything's pretty close. It's definitely no like JD squared, but it's also maybe like a third of the price, quarter of the price. I don't even know how much the JD squared goes for these days, but I mean, this is just a 12-ton bender. So, and all I've bent is aluminum pipe, and now this is aluminum EMT, or I don't know, aluminum rigid conduit. So I had a bunch left over from jobs. So yeah, put it to good use, and yeah, mini truck's getting there. So I'll keep you updated on that project as well. So have any questions, like I said, holler at me.